Okay, so welcome back to another YouTube video. This one I've been wanting to do for a while. This is my favourite spots at the moment in London to go and do some street photography. And this is the sort of route I take to hit them spots, and I'm going to talk through the video and explain the best sort of times of day to be going to these sort of places. So yeah, enjoy. Let's go. So starting off for me, we start at Liverpool Street Station. It's just a nice starting spot for me. Gets me, don't really shoot anything around Liverpool Street Station, but it's a nice little 10-minute walk to our first location. So once again, shooting on the XE4 16mm and running Kodak Gold simulation. Running the Kodak Gold simulation, and these have been edited after that, so don't think this the photos you see out of this are the gold simulation on their own. They're not. They have been edited after that, which I think looks really nice. I didn't edit my last lot, I just gave them to sort of raw gold simulation, but I wanted to edit these and see if I can make them look a bit better, and I think I have. I like the edit, but they've definitely lost that sort of filmy look a little bit. But anyway, see what you guys think. So walking through here, on the way to our first location, we're going through a graveyard, and I saw a couple of people actually renovating gravestones, which I thought, or headstones, sorry, which is pretty cool, but there was no one sort of actually doing any work at the time. So I just got a quick shot of a headstone covered over with a cloth. Okay, so as you can see, the first location is Barbican. This is such a cool spot. Always got photographers there. Just really cool. A lot of people don't really know it's in London. I posted photos of it before and they're like, oh my god, where is that? But yeah, here we are, Barbican. It's a little bit too early in the morning for me. Well, no, it's not too early. It's nice to get there at sunrise, because you get some nice sun sort of glare coming through the buildings, in between the buildings and things. But this morning I was there a little bit too early and the sun hadn't quite got up enough. But I wasn't going to hang around because I knew I had to get to sort of the rest of the spots that day, so I really only wanted to be here sort of maybe half an hour or so. Quite nice and quiet up there. If you got there a weekend, there's about 1 million photographers up there, so maybe try a weekday. Personally, I love shooting London in the week. I think it's completely different to shooting it at a weekend. I try and avoid shooting London at weekends completely. Just completely think it's a different vibe there. You sort of get a real sense of London in the week. People just going about their sort of own business, work and things like that. and I think that really helps the photos if you are into capturing sort of people and that. Once again, you can see me shooting some portrait and some landscape shots. I say all the time, the landscape photos for me just look way cooler, but because of social media we do shoot some portrait ones just so it can be posted on Instagram and things like that as a reel. There's photos on their own don't do that well anymore. So here we are, this is sort of like the main bit that everyone goes to. You can see these cool water fountains and lakes. I'm not really sure of the history of Barbican and things like that, but it's just a cool looking place. There's no place like it, that's for sure. Also make your way down here, and there's some cool like stepping stones over the water and stuff, which is cool. And also down here is a really nice like food court cafe kind of bit. I didn't go over the stepping stones there because it was an icy morning, and I thought I don't really want to start my day getting cold and wet, so I didn't. But yeah, down here is a nice food court, so if you come down here sort of first thing in the morning at a weekend, you can get some nice breakfast and that, which is really cool. It wasn't actually open, I was there too early, and I don't even know if it is open in the week, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it is at lunchtime, but maybe not for breakfast. And then just did a little wander down the end here because it's quite nice to shoot back. And there's this weird little fountain thing at the very end. I don't think I shot that this time, which is quite cool to get. Just turn back around, you can shoot through the pillars, which is quite cool. Nice reflection off the water there. And these are a couple that I just rattled off that I didn't get on the GoPro. And now this is, I think, one of the best parts about Barbican is wandering around up on the higher levels and all the passageways and things like that. I think they just make for some great photos. Obviously you want to go visit that main area, but do have a wander around sort of like the halls and things like that around the outside, because you can really get some cool shots. So we're still technically in Barbican, but we're sort of away from that main area. I'm just taking a walk back. You're heading back to Moorgate Station. This is the direction you want to be heading into Moorgate Station, and you're making your way up to, well, I'm on my way to my favourite coffee shop, which is Ozone. If you just go from Moorgate to Ozone, it's just about a 10-minute walk. I'm just getting a coffee here. One of my favourite spots in London for coffee, that's for sure. If you've got any other recommendations for a nice, decent coffee, put them in the comments below, because I'll be interested to hit them up. And this brings us on to sort of the next area that I'd like to hit, and that is Shoreditch, Shoreditch High Street. And the sun is getting really nice here. It's just coming up, perfect timing. Take a walk around here. This is quite a cool little place. It's like old buildings, old cobbled streets. I'm not 100% sure what this place is called, but it is a cool little place. It's just down from where we just shot that Italian restaurant. You go straight on past, as if you're walking past that restaurant, and you come to this little square. I'm sure it'll be really cool at night to shoot this location, you know, with a pub and stuff there. I'm just doing the old waiting trick here, waiting for somebody to come past to get a shot. I think I missed them, and another go. Bam, got there. Just adds to the shot. That's the best thing about it in London. Bearing in mind I'm walking around with a GoPro strapped to my chest, and a camera in hand. People are so busy in the week, in general, in London, doing their own thing. They don't even care. They don't even know they're walking through your shot. So you can just get shots like that, and no one really knows. No one bats an eyelid, really. Found this cool little passageway just off Shoreditch High Street. This one, I will run down here and get a snap of this. I think it looks quite cool. And we're carrying down now towards, where are we? Oh yeah, this is, I think it's a car park with a load of graffiti on it. Looks quite cool. A snapshot there, looks quite cool. There's a bit of steam coming out the top of it. I think that's the reason why I wanted to get it. And I'm just doing the same thing again, waiting for somebody to walk through the frame. That's one shot without anyone in the frame, and then the next shot, it's got a cyclist, I think he's a copper actually, riding through the frame, and it just adds to the photo again. Bam, there we go, just looks quite cool. Sun coming through nicely there, love that edit on that. Here we are, sort of, the reason I go to Shoreditch and around the area, the Brick Lane area, it's full of graffiti, and that's really what got me into street photography from the beginning. I used to run around London looking for Banksy pieces and things like that, and just cool graffiti in general, and take photos of it, and that's what really got me into street photography. So I always like to try and find somewhere with a bit of graffiti on, things like that, proper graffiti. Like you see this mural on the wall next to us here. It's cool, but it's not proper graffiti in my eyes. So I don't normally take photos of that kind of stuff. That's you know, obviously it's still art, but it's not what I call proper graffiti. And now we're heading down towards Brick Lane. This is Box Park, Shoreditch. Quite a cool little place, to be fair. But this is one place in London that I like to go to on the weekend. So this is Brick Lane area. Loads of cool things going on at weekends, because there's all the markets and things going on at weekends, and it's such a cool vibe at the weekend to go down there and and just get some nice photos and just have a nice wander really. There's some really cool stuff going on. Just running back up here, you see this building on the right hand side? That was a Gucci pop-up store at one point, and that was painted well cool with all the Gucci sort of logos and stuff on it. That's why I just wanted to go up here, and I remember there was a hanging t-shirt and some trainers hanging on a wire up here, and I've taken photos of them before, and I just wanted to snap them today, just to, well, I was more just checking to see if they're there, but they look cool. They've added a jumper to it that wasn't there when I last was there, and that's a cool photo. But when I got underneath it and shot up, that was one of my favourite photos of the day. Was it this one or the next one? The next one. Here we go, once again. Landscape, bam. That is one of my favourite photos of the day, just something cool about that. And there's that weird little mushroom on the end of the building as well, which is quite cool. Little things, innit? Little things. So anyway, back we go. A little bit of coronavirus graffiti here. Just cool, it's just quirky, it just makes you smile. Don't know why, but here we are, we're at the top of Brick Lane now. Yeah, like I said, weekend is a place. You want to come to Brick Lane on the weekend because they've got all the vintage markets and stuff like that. They've got all the markets sort of throughout the high street, which is cool as well. Some cool camera stalls where you can get like a vintage camera. Loads of stuff like that. And obviously Brick Lane, you can't come to Brick Lane without getting a bagel, can you? Salt beef bagel. What shop do you go to, eh? Londoners will know what one the right one to go to is. Try getting a shot here and a van pulled in my way, as per. So I just sort of sat here a little bit longer than I normally would. I normally just walk away, but sometimes it's worth just waiting. So while I stood there, I just snapped a couple of shots, which actually turned out quite cool. Just goes to show, like, if you just stop for a minute and have a good look around, there's still shots to be had. Here we go, just quickly snap a shot in between the traffic. Nice, like that. And heading down Brick Lane now. So yeah, look, it looks really quiet. It is really quiet. It's a weekday. It was a Thursday, I think. You come down here at the weekend and this is Ramo, which is cool. It's cool for photos to get the markets and stuff if you want to photograph that. But if you're just trying to have a little wander and actually get some, maybe some more of the buildings and things, perhaps come down in a week. But yeah, this whole area here is normally packed out with stalls and things. There's a guy that sits in a chair and he's playing like chess. Got like 3 or 4 chessboards on the go, and you can walk past and play chess with him, and he'll play like 3 or 4 people at one time and kick your ass. It's just quirky stuff like that that's going on, and I think that's why it's sort of so popular, Brick Lane. But look at the graffiti. There's just no place like it, I don't think. It's just cool. It's cool. This swing a left here off Brick Lane, and you go down. I don't know what you'd call it. Go down like an alley, I suppose. It's a little bit, I don't want to say rough, but it's a little bit maybe. So just be careful when you go down here. But there's normally always people doing some sort of graffiti somewhere, especially under the railway line, which I'm going to make my way around to in a minute. So I just wanted to walk down here. This is one of when I first found this little spot. I got a local photo somewhere of a guy doing a bit of graffiti, and it was one of my favourite photos when I was younger. So I always try and make a point of coming to this spot when I'm near this area. Nice turn back around, get a nice, yeah, just that's cool. Maybe not that cool with me in it in the shadow, but yeah, it's a cool photo like that. Such a beautiful morning, really was. Nailed it with the weather. Clear skies, But just wandering under this train track here, you can get some cool photos or some graffiti going on. Maybe not first thing in the morning like I was there, but in the evenings and stuff there's always something going on down here, so it's worth a little look. Most people are sound about you taking photos of them as well, but do be polite and ask. You know, they might not want their photo put all over the internet. So I just got a quick shot here. I've got a cool shot before with an Uber Eats. Not Uber Eats, it's Just Eat bloke wandering down there, which is one of my favourite shots. Nice one there, the sun bearing back in. That's that. Heading back out now back onto Brick Lane. Oh, I just shot that one. Coming back onto Brick Lane. Working our way down. Having a quick look along this wall, because this wall's got some really interesting stuff on it. Little figures that sort of pop out of the wall. Some of the graffiti and some of the stickers are quite cool. And I've just done a right off Brick Lane here, and this takes you around the back. Oh, there's a car there, cool, old Volvo. Grabbed a shot while I could. It takes you around the back here, and there's a big Gucci bit of advertising, which is always quite cool to see. It gets changed quite often. It's been Gucci for a long time, but like it's always Gucci, to be fair, when I go around there. I don't know if anyone else advertises on it, but it's always cool to see proper bit of artwork. Couple of those, and if you actually go around, I do go around the back here. If you go around the back of these little stalls towards the toilets, there's some toilets back here. I think it's on top of the toilets, or on top of like a little container. There's Banksy's pink car, which a lot of people don't know is there. It's all boxed up now, so you can't really get a very good photo of it, but I did a quick snap just to sort of show it. And then we're just making our way now down. We've come down Brick Lane, we've walked around the back of that little industrial estate. In there's loads of vintage markets and stuff at the weekend, sorry, and like food halls and stuff. So it's definitely have a go look around there. There's also an underground vintage market on Brick Lane at the weekend as well, which is really big and really cool. Just thought it's a cool bit of graffiti that I just want to get a shot of. And this little monkey I just see sat there. Just little random things that just make me smile when I'm wandering around. And we're just popping out now at Spitalfields Market, which is another good location. Same again, I suppose, as Brick Lane. It is on in the week, and there's people selling stuff there. I think that's all week long anyway, but there's a bit more about it at the weekend from a photographer's stance. Just getting a quick shot of that. So we're just crossing over to Spitalfields Market now. And as I cross the road, I see a Rolls Royce. Just a little bit too far away from it to get a decent shot. Yeah, just walking into the centre of Spitalfields Market now. And there's some cool stuff to take photos of. It's nothing crazy, you don't need to spend long here. I didn't spend long here at all this day because it was just a bit quiet. Wasn't a lot going on. So just basically walked through. Got a couple of little shots of the barber shop there. There's quite a cool looking barber shop. Just up here on the left. Quite cool. Just be aware that when you are in there with a camera, you might get told sort of like not take photos of the market stalls. Not sure why, but a lot of them have signs up saying no photos and all that. And we've just walked back past Liverpool Street Station on the other side, and we're heading towards Bank. You get some cool shots of the buildings and some cool shots of the Gherkin from here. For example, just cut into this little courtyard of buildings which look really old and cool, and then you've got the Gherkin in the background which looks really modern, quite a cool contrast. So I just snapped a couple of little shots there. Actually went a bit over the top with the Gherkin shots here too, no? But it's a cool way of shooting it. And now we're heading towards Bank. I noticed that these trees have been cut down quite recently, and as I walked past I noticed someone's photo on them. I think it's like "Why me" or something. I was like, I've got to get a photo of that, that's cool. Not sure why it got cut down. And here we are, Bank. One of my favourite places to take photos. Just a cool looking area. Completely different to everything else we've shot today. So I love that about it. Feels like you're going into a real upmarket sort of part of London. Lots of people in suits and things like that to get photos of, and just a really cool place. Buildings look absolutely insane. Just love the architecture. And you get quite a good shot of sort of like old London and new London around Bank, with like the old buildings and then the new buildings in the background, which is quite cool. Sorry. And I just noticed I actually followed this woman very much in a non-creepy way, going into this little courtyard area, which I actually bottled. It looks really cool to take photos in, but it was quite busy with people enjoying their coffee and things. And I thought, man, I don't want to take photos in here, even though it would be quite cool. So I just did a U-turn and got out of there quick. Here we are, we're just walking around now to where the underground takes you out in Bank, which is sort of like the main centre. Cool shot here of the statue and the road. And like, look, it's just got cool leading lines. I've got a great shot before of two people walking across at the same time, one in one direction, one in the other direction, in the past, which is really, really cool. As you can see, the sun is getting up a bit here. Still creating a bit of shadow, which is nice. And as I walk around this corner, I see the most awesome shot. Oh no, wait, I'm a little bit ahead of myself here, it's not quite here. That's a cool shot back because you've got obviously all the new buildings in the background. So it just looks cool as hell. And here we go, walk right round into the sun, look at that. Huge lens flare on the GoPro. And I get, yeah, probably my second favourite shot of the day, just here, just with the sun, just looks so cool. Not really sure why I like it so much, but I actually get two. So the first one, I'm just using the building there in front of me to block the sun a little bit. And then the next one, I'm just going around a little bit to let a bit more sun in. And oh, there's the other way around. But yeah, they're my second favourite shot of the day, definitely. I just got a little sun trap here that I was trying to get someone to walk through. If you had like a bit more zoom, you would have had a better photo, I think. But did quite well with 16mm. And I love the challenge of that, having just one fixed focal length. You're not thinking about lens changing and stuff like that. And I'm going to do a video on that, on why I've switched from Canon to Fuji with my street photography. So I'm going to do a video on that maybe next. That is one of my favourite routes to wander around London for street photography. You're hitting Barbican, you're hitting sort of Shoreditch area, Old Street area, into Brick Lane, really cool. And then Spitalfields Market, which is quite cool at weekend, just nice to have a little wander around. Not massive photo opportunity, but good for people. And then walking down to Bank, and Bank in the week is the best. So you can't have the best day in London for all them areas in one day. You have to, either take a hit somewhere. And we took the hit on Brick Lane and sort of Spitalfields Market on that day. But I could do that exact route on a different day, and maybe like on a Saturday, and Barbican would be popping, Brick Lane would be popping, and so would Spitalfields. So, but then your Bank wouldn't look as good because you've got quite a lot of tourists around, and you haven't got the people wandering around in suits, and it changes it. So just pick a day and go with it. Go walk that route. That route will take you probably, if you spend about half hour to 40 minutes in each place, just dawdling around, having a little look. You're probably going to spend the morning if you get there early. That route will take you sort of like 4 hours, 5 hours maybe maximum. So it's a nice little route to do. I actually normally go from Bank down to the river, walk along the river down to South Bank, and I get some maybe some photos of the skateboarders and things like that down there near the London Eye area, and then I cut back through and I go sort of over towards Soho area because I love shooting Soho, and then sort of you can get around your sort of more touristy places, your Covent Garden, your Leicester Square, all that sort of area, around there. But yeah, it's quite a long day, that. That's sort of like if I wanted to go out and do a whole day, I'd do that. But yeah, that is one of my favourite routes to take. Have a go out and see what you think. Hopefully maybe you've seen something there that you didn't know was there, and want to go and shoot it. Let me know how you get on. Let me know what you think of the photos. Do you like the edit I did on them? Are they a little bit too much? I feel like they've lost the film effect a little bit, which is a shame because I do love that film look, but I like them for what they are. They're cool. So maybe just a little bit more grain in them would help give them that film effect a little bit more. But did love the photos from that trip. Be sure to check out my so at JS5 Visuals is my commercial page. That's what I do for a living, all my client work and stuff like that. And then let me just check. I keep changing my street photography name, but I think I'm going to stick with this one. At the minute it is The Grain Effect. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep with that one. I'm still trying to think of a photography name over the last a street photography name for my Instagram over the last year or so, and I've changed it quite a few times. As you'll see on old videos, you'll see the old handle, but it's the_grain_effect because it is mostly going to be it's all street photography. None of my commercial work is on there, but it's going to be mostly film photos and XE4 photos with like a film simulation in it, just because I love that. That's my vibe. And yeah, check it out, have a look. I try and put some reels up and things, hence why I shoot some portrait photos. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.